There is a little funny story about an elderly man who was quite ill. He said to his wife, "You know, Sarah, you have always been with me through the good and the bad. Like the time I lost my job, you were right there by my side. And when the war came and I enlisted, you became a nurse so that you could be with me. Then I was wounded, and you were right there beside me. And now here I am, sick as a dog, and you are right beside me. But you know something, Sarah? You always bring me bad luck." Like that gentleman, some of us are tempted to look for somebody else to blame for all the wrong things that go in our lives. Often, we blame the very people we looked up for support and help. Today's reading from the book of Job simply is a futile attempt to answer the common question that many ask: why do bad things happen to good people? But on the other hand, in the gospel, we see Jesus spending himself in alleviating the suffering, the hardships of his people around Galilee by his preaching and healing ministry, rather than worrying about all sorts of solutions to solve the problem of evil. The gospel reading today shows Christ giving of himself, his time, his energy in the mission that God the Father entrusted to him. After healing Peter's mother-in-law, she began to prepare a meal for them, for Jesus and his disciples. This shows her willingness and readiness to minister to other people. Like her, we must also rise to serve those in need. Later on, Jesus flees the crowd and is found praying with the very next morning all by himself. This was a clear indication that Jesus regarded the performance of all his miracles were only subordinate to his primary mission, and his ministry and his goal in life was to evangelize, to teach the people a better understanding of God's love and mercy and the meaning of our life here on earth. Therefore, dear friends, let us now reflect upon the people in today's gospel who were amazed by Jesus. They continually sought after him. We can certainly imagine their excitement, their hope for a cure, and their joy, genuine joy at the discovery of their Messiah. For us, it would be like longing to be in the presence of our beloved. Do we share the same kind of enthusiasm being in the presence of Jesus? If that excitement is lacking in our life, then we must recommit ourselves to pray, to serve, to evangelize, and seek Jesus in our daily life. Now, I'd like to invite Dan Ryan to speak to us about the parish stewardship. Dan is one of our trustees who is very much involved with various ministries.
This month, about 20 years ago, my best friend got married deep in southern Texas. My wife Jennifer and I and numerous of our friends traveled down to help him celebrate. On the day of the wedding, we all gathered in the lobby to caravan to the church, which was several towns away. The couple had hired a wedding planner, and that individual was concerned that our Yankee telephones, our northerner cell phones, would not have reception. So she very kindly printed off directions for us. And they were great. The proper exit, a right on this street, a left on that street, and directly into St. Joseph's Catholic Church, which would have been great, except my buddy was getting married at St. Thomas's Catholic Church. We got out of our rental cars. We laughed about being all dressed up, but at the wrong location. That quickly changed when we realized our cell phones did not have reception, and St. Joseph's at 1:45 on a Saturday afternoon was locked up tighter than a drum. Fortunately, a few minutes later, a woman came by walking her dog, and we explained to her that we were looking for St. Thomas's. She paused, she pointed, and she proclaimed, "Well, that ain't it." We assured her that we understood the predicament that we were in, and if you've ever been in a conversation where one party was clearly in a hurry and the other party had all day, then you know how the next few minutes went. But finally, we secured the directions and we were off in haste to the church, and in doing so likely violated numerous of the motor vehicle laws of the Lone Star State. That evening, the wedding planner explained that most of her previous weddings had taken place at that first parish, and therefore she simply printed off the directions as always. And isn't that the way things work? We get into a habit and don't necessarily think about the fact that the situation is different, the circumstances have changed, or the need is not the same. At Seton, things are not the same as they were a year ago, and we must acknowledge that change. New parishioners have joined. Old parishioners have moved away. We've welcomed a new pastor and Father Joy, while also welcoming a new business administrator in Rita McGann. We've also celebrated the end of ministries of Father Joe and of Deacon Jeff, and most recently celebrated the retirement of Dave Fennelly after 10 years of loyal and dedicated service to Seton. Around this time each year, we have Stewardship Weekend, where we ask the parish community how each one of us can contribute to the well-being of Seton. No matter your age, no matter your location, what can you do to help this year? You do not need to have a special skill or a certain talent or a particular gift in order to volunteer a few hours to help Seton grow and to personally nurture your relationship with the Lord. Perhaps it is a shift at the parish festival, or it's discerning for pastoral counsel, or participating in the numerous ministries that are active here in the parish. The success and vibrancy of Seton depends on all of us contributing and doing our part. Now, all of this could not also be done without your generous and ongoing financial support, and I thank you so greatly for all that you have done. Currently, our donations are down from last year, and these funds are what are used to help pay the salaries of our fantastic staff, as well as for the building and grounds and the maintenance. This year, we've already replaced the siding on the silo at the back of the building, and we plan to upgrade the security cameras and locks for additional security. Is this glamorous and exciting? No, not at all. Is it important and necessary? Definitely. Financial contributions to Seton are also used to help the charities that the parish supports and for which many of you donate your time and your talents. Therefore, I ask you to revisit your monthly contribution amount and prayerfully consider what you can contribute. Unlike directions to a wedding, donations to the parish should reflect thought, consideration, and not necessarily a whatever I did last time mindset. Now, I know there's at least one of you out there thinking, did they make it to the wedding on time? No, we did not. But they elected to delay the start of the Mass because the entire groom side of the church was empty. And they knew we were coming. And knowing what is coming is key. Therefore, let me set the stage. In the next 2 weeks, a packet of information from Seton will arrive in your physical mailbox. It's an opportunity for input into how we want to get involved and contribute to the parish. Let us ask for the intercession of the Holy Spirit and respond recognizing that the need is different, the circumstances have changed, and the situation is not the same as last year. With your prayerful consideration and feedback to the parish, Seton will have the proper direction that will keep us on course and growing as a spiritual community that is dedicated to following Jesus and serving others.